is.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hello. Oh, I guess we do work at a radio station because I was ready for the song to come in.
I was too. I guess it's a radio intro.
It is. Oh, it's still going. All right, well, I'm going to do what I always do. It is the Shake Up After Dark. I'm Alex the Great.
I'm Tiffany now.
Tonight, I'm Alex Haynes, motherfucker.
Oh.
Hey,
all right. You want to tell us how you really feel? That how you feel? You feeling? That's how you feeling?
I feel like I'm walking up the King's Highway. That's how I feel.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Do not do that. No. No.
When
you will not.
I tell you that this white Hennessy and lemonade, one sip just literally blessed my soul. The way I'm probably going to crash after this show, though. Is that an old people thing? You start drinking to go to sleep?
Is it? I have a good glass of red on occasions before going to bed.
That's different. That is prescribed by the doctor that you should have 8 ounces of wine a day.
That depends on the doctor, but I listen to those doctors. I'm not opposed to it personally.
Every doctor I done been to said that 8 hours a day is fine. I mean, 8 ounces a day. I said 8 hours a day. I'm just putting things in the doctor's mouth.
I was like, 8 hours? No one's drinking. Well, some people are drinking for that long, but... Well, anyway,
today's
I know how your weekend was.
To you by Fuck Donald. If you would be interested in your own, which I put it on Snapchat yesterday, and I got 5 orders from my homie. He's getting. I'm taking my cut off the top. I'm gonna just place a bulk order. I said that's okay. You don't have to reimburse me. I got mine.
I can't. I actually am feeling. I was telling you about the t-shirt orders that I'm trying to work on. I am filling orders for Wakanda shirts. Power to the people.
I was actually Black Jesus over the weekend.
I saw.
They were all so mad that they were all wearing black. Now, I said, y'all know where we're going. Why would I come and be average like the rest of you?
Right, because that's just not who you are.
But shout out to Afro World in St. Louis, Missouri. If you need great Black Panther wear, I told her I would plug her all week long because she gave me 40% off.
Yes, 40% off.
She thought I was cute and she tried to give me her number. But Afro World.
I still would have taken the 40% off, so.
Hello. You saw me in my Jesus wear. I
did.
Amen.
Amen. Well, how was the rest of your weekend? I saw that you went to a Super Bowl party, but basically didn't see.
I don't want to talk about that party. I don't. I did watch the Super Bowl at the end. Nobody was even interested in the last 3 minutes when me and my best friend and another friend of mine got up and went into this dude's office because they're standing in front of the TV because they turn on this damn trap music. Like, hello. There are two minutes left, and they're playing the Patriots. What the fuck are you doing?
Anything can happen, right? At the party I was at, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm a Falcons fan. I don't celebrate until the clock reads at least 15 seconds, okay? That's when I begin to celebrate.
Okay. I saw a prophecy on the Facebook that said Falcons fans should rejoice because technically Eagles are in the same family as us.
We've been calling them Philadelphia Falcons down here, actually. A bird is a bird.
That win was for us at the end of the day. I don't give a damn. What happened to us last year was unruly and uncalled for. I don't want to go back to it. I actually saw my status. It was actually today last year. I meant to pull that up because I just wanted to let you know. If our viewers don't know that we are a little ratchet.
Well, I saw that video that we made in the studio.
That's what I'm talking about.
I be on it all night, man. I be on it. I did see that video come up in my mind.
I wasn't even talking about that one though. We made another one. You probably didn't post it because it was so vulgar. But the Snapchat filter said make a message to the Patriots. And I took it to a new level.
Of course you did.
Damn.
No, I had that same
because it was a blessing. But how'd your Super Bowl party go?
It went well. There was one Patriots fan there, and throughout the night I just kept looking at her saying, "Do you need a hug? Are you okay?" Somebody put her on suicide watch. But there was one of those refs, I don't remember his name, but he was trying it. Like, I was watching, I had my eyes on him because I was like, I don't trust you. And they had a couple of calls where I was like, y'all bet not cheat for these Patriots. So it came close. I actually did post your message, apparently, on my Facebook.
I saw another picture of another video that Miss Bitch was in, and I was like, she need to get her fat ass off my couch.
Well, here was the one that I did.
Hey, I'm still right there.
Still there. So everyone is already preparing in Atlanta to Airbnb their properties and take a vacation elsewhere because we already know it's going to be crazy. And the requests for halftime show are already in for Outkast. I just feel like all of the Atlanta people should come up. I want to see Luda. I want to see Outkast. I want to see T.I. Speaking of halftime show, Justin Timberlake can kick boulders for all I care. The fact that Sheila E. had to call you and say, don't you dare do a hologram of Prince. The fact that they then still put him on a high school projector. I'm unable.
No, that was an elementary school overhead.
It was an overhead projector, and I just am unable. Prince didn't want any of that. He made it very clear while he was still alive that he didn't want any of that done after he was gone.
He also said he didn't want it because he thought it was demonic. Let's be clear.
Well,
he didn't want it at all.
There were a lot of things that when he was alive, he said he didn't want. And I saw a post yesterday that said Prince's family approved of the tribute to him. I said, I literally reposted it and said, you mean that family that ain't shit that sold the rights to his music to all of the streaming services that he didn't want done? That same family? So, no, I'm not here for it. The only thing that I liked, the band was good. And where they did an aerial view of the city and did the symbol, the Prince symbol, that was nice. But Justin, you starting off with your new song and then going into the song that Janet's whole titty popped out on, you ain't shit for that. And I feel like, I wrote this on my Facebook yesterday, I feel like he called every black person he knew to try and get them to perform with him. And they all said, hell no, to the no, no, no. So that's all I've got.
Usually I would be inclined to agree with you, but I don't think so. He didn't call no black people because he was dressed like Duck Dynasty. And I was really appalled. Like, bro, he came out looking straight out of Duck Dynasty and somebody's Crocodile Dundee.
Well, that's because of his album cover of him returning to his roots in Tennessee, the woods in Tennessee, or whatever the name of that album is called.
You know, I do have a bone to pick here, and I'm gonna throw it out here because that's what we do. It's a little controversial. I saw someone say, why the hell do we want to preserve what Prince wanted when I don't have any records of him doing anything for us?
What? No records. What ignorant person said that?
I was very like, well, Prince actually did a lot.
He did a whole lot.
He gave a lot.
And if you were paying attention,
But ignorance is bliss. I don't know if you saw the selfie of the kid taking a selfie of himself and all the captions.
The one that couldn't get his phone together when Justin Timberlake was standing by him?
Yeah, all the memes said when you're Googling who is Justin Timberlake.
Oh my God.
But
so what got me was...
That kid was actually on GMA this morning.
All right. What got me was the post that was on Twitter yesterday that showed how quiet the stadium actually was, and that no one was excited that like Justin Timberlake was there.
But the TV magic, I told you, Mel, like, I'm like, this TV magic, I be knowing what's going on, so I'd be over it.
Well, somebody at the party pointed out that everyone behind the stage was sitting. So I wasn't surprised when I saw that post on Twitter. Your mic is completely gone.
I said, you know, we went to this church and they, you know, the camera shots are close in.
Right.
But it's a big space. So if you point the camera, if you got a small amount of people, ask Donald Trump about this at his inauguration. You have a small amount of people and you point the camera towards the people, then you go up in the sky and you go over just enough to show the people on the left and the people on the right. It looks like a massive amount of people.
Right.
When it's really no one.
It's 4.
It's no 4. One.
But JT, you cannot carry a halftime show by yourself. You just can't. And I don't think I know of anyone that can. But I was happy for the Eagles winning their first championship. They were in the game in 1960, but they did not win. So this was their first win. Kudos to them. I've been a fan of the Eagles since they gave Michael Vick a second chance years ago. So icing on the cake that they beat the Patriots because I hate them.
I mean, the Eagles are our family, even though just because Michael Vick went there. He's forever. I love Atlanta. Atlanta all day. A-Town down. A-Town stay down. What's up, my nigga?
All of that. All of that. So kudos to them. Best ads, Blackcher from Praz. If you're not following that, I suggest that you take a look at it. He's already come out with another video responding to all of the hate that he got from the ad. But the ad with, dang it, I should have had his name up. Peter Dinklage. The Doritos and Mountain Dew ad with Peter Dinklage and Morgan Freeman.
I'm gonna just let you talk ads because I have no idea.
It was the best ad I saw on the news this morning. It won like best ad, at least everywhere that I saw. So kudos to Mountain Dew and Doritos for joining up. That was very smart of them. Very, very dope marketing. Peter Dinklage came out with Doritos and he was in fire and all of that other stuff for the Doritos. And he was rapping Busta Rhymes, one of the Busta Rhymes songs. And then Morgan Freeman came out and he was in a room full of ice and it was he was rapping Missy Elliott. So it was a really good ad. Now the most controversial ad is the ad that featured a portion of the Dr. King speech. First of all, we all know, or at least some of us know, that a couple years ago, Bernice King and her brothers went to court, over some of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Legacy items of Dr. King. So for anyone who missed it, Alex, I know you missed all the ads for the most part. Dodge Ram had an ad where they used an audio sample from one of Dr. King's sermons. And part of what they had in the ad was, now the presence of this instinct. Wait, that's not it. In order to be a man of distinction, you must drink this whiskey. In order to make your neighbors envious, you must drive this type of car. In order to be lovely, to love you, you must wear this kind of lipstick or this kind of perfume. You know, before you know it, you're just buying this stuff. That's the way the advertisers do. Now, that's the portion of the sermon from Dr. King that Dodge Ram did not play. They literally stopped it right before it gets to that part in the speech. The ad was showing a bunch of different Americans doing different things, different families, and then it showed the Dodge Ram. And then at the end of it, it said built to serve. So it was trying to, you know, embody Dr. King's philosophy on serving others, but it fell flat. It was horribly tone deaf and
whitewashed. Tiff, just say it. Whitewashed. Okay?
It was very whitewashed.
People always do when they try to be like, well, they even ask me, well, what would Dr. King do? I'm not Dr. King. Second, what did you do? Why am I popping off on you? First of all, don't use Dr. King's words to make them say what you want them to say.
Well, in the actual speech, which is called The Drum Major Instinct, delivered 50 years ago this month, he's talking about advertisers. The presence of this instinct explains why we are so often taken by advertisers. You know, those gentlemen of massive verbal persuasion, and they have a way of saying things to you that kind of gets you into buying. So, and later on in the speech, he specifically mentions Chrysler and Cadillac. So the fact that he spoke against the company in this specific speech that they use later on in the speech, it's mind baffling. I don't understand. Of course, Dr. Bernice King was like,
I don't know why y'all get so shocked.
Dr. Bernice King was like, no. She spoke against that, and Janet Jackson Appreciation Day was trending all day yesterday. Ahead of the Super Bowl, it trended over the Super Bowl, over Justin Timberlake, all of that. Dr. Bernice King participated in Janet Jackson Appreciation Day, and she also spoke out against this ad.
That was Dr. King Velvet.
I'm not doing this with you tonight.
No, it really was.
Oh, I believe that.
No, it is. I'm telling you. Every single one.
I forgot that fact. Never mind. Anyway. I hate you. I hate you for reminding me of that.
Let's just move on because we can't really report this as truth. But for all y'all know, that's what Dr. Bernice King was supporting this weekend.
Yeah. The organization that actually is responsible for approving or denying these types of ads said that they felt like it embodied Dr. King's philosophy of serving others, and that's why they approved it. But they would not disclose how much coin they got for also approving it. So,
well, also they said they spoke with the executives of the King estate. It was probably Isaac Newton Ferris and what's the other what's the big red one? What's her name? It's gonna come to me.
Did you say the big red one?
Them cousins, they are a high ass mess. Okay.
Just like Prince's family. Ain't nobody really paying attention to what
you can only always trust the siblings. The cousins, I mean, in my family, the cousins are straight. But
yeah, it's a bit much. Anyway, Doritos.
Before we move on from news, we gotta do this. This just hit the Today Show. Well, on the Today Show today. I mean, white people. There's a couple things I'm gonna talk about. Y'all just really y'all stress me out.
They make your butt itch.
Like, you don't want to be black, but I mean, you want to be black so bad, except when it's time to be black.
Listen, that's a word.
You try to make everything white, and I know that you don't have any history to be proud of because everywhere y'all go, y'all create slaves and kill people and oppress people. So you don't have no positive history. So first, I'm gonna address Florida. It's Florida State, the Gators.
That horrible dance video.
Even Bleacher Report was like, "What is happening?" Bleacher Report was okay. First of all, I'm gonna say it the way that I said it publicly, so I don't do a lot of cussing because I said this and I saw this. It's so funny that I see my Instagram stories reposted all the time now. It's like I be doing the most though, but I have to stand by this. I'm officially done with Cardi B's. You know what I'm talking about. I can't, not because it's an awful song, but because of what y'all have done with it. First of all, songs sung in unison. You see this face right here? Rap songs are not made to be sung in unison, okay? These are not happy songs that should be sung with a kumbaya, a tambourine, and a middle school chorus. That's the bullshit. Rap songs should never be sung in rhythmless unison.
Oh my gosh. No.
So rap songs sung in unison, straight emoji face. Rap songs are not made to be sung in unison. And rap songs are definitely not made to be sung in rhythmless unison. So you can't go singing a song and little bitch, you can't fuck with me. That 3-step clap on the upbeat. Boy, I was hot. I can't even tell you how hot I was.
Oh my God. I saw that and my entire mouth dropped because what the hell? Like, are you for real? What? And while we're on, the whites are at it again.
On the upbeat. On the upbeat. Oh. But you must know where I'm going, what my next story was then.
Probably. Nefertiti?
Yeah, the Today Show. Okay, listen.
Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda.
Y'all white people, you gotta listen to me. Like, I know y'all be thinking that I'm just fucking with y'all, but I'm really not. Like, y'all really have to stop this shit.
Y'all have got to stop, okay?
Did you watch
this is how I feel about it.
Did you watch the clip?
I feel like Patty again, okay? Y'all gotta cut your shit.
Did you watch the clip? When he unveiled what they tried to make her as, Hoda's whole face was like,
what the?
No.
The way that her neck is.
First of all, she is Egyptian, so.
For those who did not see it. Oh, now it's replaying. Really? It's playing at first. One moment. Go ahead. Okay, it's done now.
As host of the Travel Channel's Expedition Unknown, Josh Gates is used to uncovering iconic mysteries, but his latest excursion brought him to Egypt, where he got exclusive access to the remains of King Tut's mother. Take a look. It's a mystery as old as the pyramids. What happened to Queen Nefertiti, a legendary beauty and powerful ruler, married to King Tut's father, so beloved he made her co-king. But after death, she was erased, her mummy gone.
This is the most famous image of Nefertiti.
Josh Gates, archaeologist and adventurer, was hooked, traveling to Egypt for the Travel Channel's Expedition Unknown to look for answers.
This is a tomb known as KB.
Okay, I'm gonna skip all of this.
The first clue, far from eyes, a missing jaw. 3 months later,
in Berlin, that everyone.
Now let me just say. Okay, here we go.
2, 3.
Wow. Wow, that's intense. Wow.
Isn't she amazing?
Yes. She really is. So how do you reconstruct? And how accurate do you think this is?
I think it's extremely accurate to the mummy. The forensics artists are able to do an extremely good job at looking at the tissue, depth, determining muscle, and all of that. And so what we're looking at here for sure is King Tut's mother. We know genetically that this mummy is King Tut's mother.
So Nefertiti.
That's right. We know that Tut's father was Akhenaten, who was married to Nefertiti. So it's a good bet. And the really encouraging thing for me is that when you look at the known ancient images of Nefertiti that we have, like the Berlin bust, there are amazing similarities here.
I was going to say, it looked a lot of
except for color, okay? Now, let me just say this. I'm a fan of, I don't know why this won't stop playing. I'm a fan of Josh Gates. For those who don't know, am a nerd. So I sit and watch shows like Expedition Unknown because I like to learn about King Tut and the secret Nazi gold and all that other random stuff. But Nefertiti was not beige, okay? She just wasn't beige. Now, we've talked about this on this show a few times. Jesus was black, and my people, Egyptians, were also brown, black, brown. In certain versions of the Bible even, it says locks, not hair. So the fact that y'all have tried to whiten up Nefertiti, I take great issue with that. I take great issue with that. Great issue with that. Alex?
You know, I decided I want white people to stop trying to tell me about my history and my lineage and all that. Like, I'm done.
In other news, in Pennsylvania.
Wait, one more thing.
Yes.
All single people.
I'm singlers.
Hooters will be giving away.
All right.
No, free wings on Valentine's Day if you're single.
Who's to say we can't go in there and lie?
On Valentine's Day, a lot of people aren't going to be by themselves. So you went through a lot of work. And
do you have to go in the evening?
I don't have the details. I'm just telling you that they're giving away free wings. Okay, that's what I know.
I mean, I'm single, so I can go get me some free wings, but I'm just saying. Oops. I'm just saying. For those of us who are not single, I probably would go in there and just lie. Can you get them to go?
No.
I would just go with a group of friends. Before
we all single.
We all single. Before we go any further in the show, I do want to wish a happy, I believe it was 23rd. Trayvon Martin would have been 23. Happy birthday. Still tragic. Whew. And that's all I'm going to say on that because the MF who killed him is still roaming the streets acting like a complete ignorant ass clown. And I'm unable.
Hashtag kill George Zimmerman. Hashtag free Meek Mill. I'm a real nigga.
All right. In Pennsylvania, top Republican lawmakers had a defeat where the Pennsylvania Supreme Court decided not to allow them to change the congressional map that would make it basically so that votes would be more in their favor. The Supreme Court said that it gave Republicans such a clear political advantage that it clearly, plainly, and palpably violated the state's constitution. Pennsylvania Supreme Court gave Republican lawmakers about 3 weeks to redraw the map and said the court could redraw the map itself if the lawmakers failed to agree on one with Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf, who is a Democrat. So they just keep getting hit, which is fine by me.
I don't even have the politics in me tonight. I told you I preached a sermon earlier. I woke up this morning and really thought.
Woke up this morning with my mind.
I really
and
thought.
It was stay on
Come on.
Whoa, woke up this morning
clap
with
like
my
white
mind.
folks. Stay. I can't even clap off beat. Would I be trying? I just can't. I try. Like your body automatically goes back to the beat.
Oh my God.
Like when you try to clap like them, the only thing you can do is like do that unison clap that they do, like unison. They clap to like,
oh my God.
They literally will find a beat that doesn't exist.
I can't do it either. I've tried a couple of times and I just can't. The fact that I still match the beat that was happening in my head, I don't know how to do it. I'm sorry.
No, but this is the thing that gets me about them. Like the song clearly has a beat, but they can't find it. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, like, let me give you an example. I'm gonna do the easiest church song ever for Black people. It's like, Lord, you are good, and your mercy endures forever. Lord, you are good. You know how Israel is all extra. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Right, you're already there.
Oh my God.
Lord, your mercy endures forever.
Now, how do you clap off me to that?
But then them.
No, that's not it.
No. First, they do the unison clap. So first it's this. And then when they want to find the same beat that we're at, it's like this.
And you are dead. Oh no. Oh my God.
And we're like, come on, guys. We're like, they're like, I got it, Bob.
Oh my God. No, you don't, Susie.
I saw a comment today, though. No, yesterday. It was when I first saw that video. It said, white people, why can't we just do what we're good at? We weren't given the gift of rhythm or dance. So let's go back to clipping coupons in Starbucks. Let's stay in our lane.
My God.
It was a white man that said it.
Oh my God.
And I love when you talk to your own people. That's what I'm saying. Like, what's wrong? Like, why don't? Because some of them can see. Some of them can really see. If they can see the problem, like they see that there's a problem and they're like, white people. I told you my only white friend, I talk about him all the time. I need to call him because like he'd be posting like he's really an advocate for us, even though he denies his whiteness. I remember when he told me like, when he found out, his parents found out their ancestry when we were in high school. He was like, bro, I found out I am not legally Caucasian. I was like, bro, you are white as hell.
All right.
Your name is Andy. Andy Homrich. You're white. Like
you
white. I don't care. And okay. I didn't care then. I don't care now. And then he was like, no, I found out like my mom's half Indonesian. Indonesia is near Africa. I'm sure my people migrated from there. So he posted, I said, he's still on this same shit. He posted a video yesterday that went viral from my old church. And he's like, I will continue to speak out about white people oppressing black people, white people and their wrongs, white people and this. And even though I'm white partially, I'm like, bruh. Like, all right. He's hanging on for dear life. But I understand. I do understand why you might not want to be white. I do. I mean, I get
it. Sarah celebrated for the 1% of black that she had in her on the view when they went over their results.
She was ecstatic.
Ecstatic. I knew it. We're sisters. All right, Sarah.
However,
you're
like
really
I
lucky.
said,
I really like you.
All the time.
Anywho, I had another story that. So the stock market crashed today. Not crashed, but
And basically, it's the lowest it ever dropped, the largest amount that it's ever dropped.
Ever. Almost 1,200 points. No, almost, nope, more than 1,500 points at one point. By the close, the Dow had lost around 2,200 points since January 26th, closing in on a 10% decline, which would mark the start of an official correction. Why is the stock market slowly starting to plunge? Because it's just realizing that ass clown is in office. I mentioned this during the State of the Union and this is not the technical reason, but I mentioned this during the State of the Union last week, that a lot of the impacts of a president are not seen until after their first year in office. That first year in office, the impacts are still really from the previous administration, which is why when Obama took office, he was still dealing with impacts from the Bush administration. Now that Trump is in office, he is still benefiting.
No, pretty much over. Like,
I mean, it's over now.
Yeah. I mean, we are over a year into his presidency. So this year, probably in the next month or two, Trump's policies, everything that you see, this is Trump. There's no Hillary, there's no Obama. You can't blame it on them. This is you. And this market is going to crash repeatedly. It's going to keep happening.
Yep. And I saw one post that said why you shouldn't be worried. I've seen others that are like,
they're trying to save face. They're trying to save face because do you know he was actually speaking live about how good the economy is doing in the stock market when it crashed? Fox News had him live stream. They cut the stream. They cut the stream because literally while he was speaking, it crashed.
Well, this article that I have up now says investors should brace themselves for higher inflation. First of all, the tax reform hit basically this month, February 1st. So there's a lot of changes and impacts that we're going to very slowly begin to see from that. But our tax deficit is about to increase over the next few years. Healthcare is null and void for a good bit of the country. He wants to take away like 72% of funding for certain environmental factors and issues and research and things like that. He wants to take away, I forgot what the percentage was in NASA funding, which, I mean, we can take a little bit from them. But
he's just a horrible person.
He's a horrible person. He's a horrible president. And these policies are going to impact us for years to come. I don't understand why people are still supporting this ass clown. Everyone's like, oh, well, he's a businessman, and we need a businessman. We need something different. He is a failed businessman. I don't understand why y'all are not understanding that. He's not even the only reason he has money is because he's a white person writing, and he's cheating all of these tax laws and cheating all of these would you get down? Dog is bothering me. He's going around the system. He's filed bankruptcy, what was it, 13 times? It really disgusts me. It really makes me sick. It really pisses me off. And I'm moving to somewhere else where they can appreciate Black people, which means not in this country.
Just know that we're so close to there's some new races coming up, but they're not going to be fucking with us like this.
Nope. Also, rest in peace to John Mahoney.
Hallelujah.
He played Martin Crane on Frasier.
You're the only Black person that knows who that is.
Don't care. He played Martin Crane on Frasier. I watch Frasier like 3 or 4 times a week. Rest in peace to him. Don't judge.
Angela Rye was on CNN tonight asking, name one racist thing that Barack Obama did. That's a funny question. Because there isn't one.
I mean, No, not one.
Be his normal black self.
I mean, I seriously can't think of not one thing. Not one thing.
They just get on my nerves. They do.
Yeah, I'm completely annoyed. Completely annoyed. Oh, also rest in peace to Edwin Jackson. He was a Colts player, but he's from Atlanta, Georgia, and he was killed in what seems to be hit by a drunk driver yesterday morning. So the Colts paid tribute to him. His family just gave a very short, brief statement that he was an amazing and kind, gentle soul. So prayers and thoughts to his family here in Atlanta, and may he rest in peace. Such just tragic. This Is Us. I won't spoil anything for anybody.
Well, why not? You should have watched it by now.
You should have watched it by now, but I still see people on social media like, don't ruin it for us. Okay, y'all have till tomorrow morning because the next episode comes on tomorrow. We're not getting a break. I cried real tears throughout the episode last night.
Even though I knew that Jack was dying, I wasn't ready.
It still hits very hard the way that they do it in the first 5 minutes of the show. It's just like, all right. I mean, real tears.
I just wasn't ready for Jack to die like that.
I wasn't either. I really wasn't.
He didn't die. I thought he was just going to die in the fire. That's what I wanted to happen. And that's not what happened.
That's not what happened. I wasn't ready for Mandy's reaction. I know that's not her name, but I don't ever remember her character's name. I wasn't ready for her response. I wasn't ready for, the emotion of her telling the children. I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Huh?
Go on, Rebecca.
Rebecca, that's her name. I call her Mandy. But Rebecca, I wasn't ready for Rebecca's response. Because the way that she took a bite out of that chocolate bar and told that doctor that he had lost his whole mind, I was like, well.
No.
Can someone get this man from in front of me, please? I need some space.
Jack, are you not... Yeah, I wasn't ready for that.
I wasn't ready. I was
concerned that Jack went back into this house to get this dog. And
Listen,
Black Twitter was very concerned as well, okay?
Because screw the dog. I will get you another dog. Now, and I have dogs, and I love my fur babies very, very, very much.
Because he went back and got that dog, though.
I know, which is why Kate can't stand having a dog. Like, she's having a rough time with this dog. I have 2 fur babies. I love them very much. They're literally sitting here at my feet right now. I'm not running back into a burning house to get them. You either bring your little asses out here, or
you're gonna be doggy. You're gonna be chop suey.
I mean, I don't know what
chicken chip beef. Chicken chip beef.
That dog would have been barbecued, okay? Because I'm not running.
I'm sorry. And like, wow. I gotta say this.
Oh my God. Oh, that's about as bad as you talking about my future children last week. Like, let me tell y'all something. That wasn't on air, was it? Oh my God. Y'all, I'm taking new applications for new best friends because this one that I'm doing this show with, he's got serious issues.
I have mental problems. I really do.
You really do. I don't even remember how we got on the I don't remember how we got on the topic of my future children, but he basically was warning me not to do that, special reading stuff that they're doing nowadays, which I wouldn't do anyway. I don't believe in that. I believe in getting, what God blesses me with. But I don't remember how we got on the topic. I don't remember why you were warning me, but the accent that you gave my future child, I was unable. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't ready. And I hate you.
Listen.
So much for it. So much. I'm not going to say it because I know it's going to eventually go into your stand-up show.
I be forgetting stuff, but even the day I had a message for pastors, and I said I just be snapping. Like I'll be in the middle, I'm saying something, and so I'm saying something inspirational and uplifting, and that's why Jesus has like 80% of my heart, because I'll be saying what he said, and then all of a sudden I just snap. But I want this message. We're going to cut this out. And I want all of the pastors, preachers, teachers, bishops, apostles, all of you that have your way with the people. No, I'm just playing. All of you that minister to the people on the regular, I have a message for you. Y'all saw it on my Facebook page, but you didn't want to like it because it hit you right there. But I want you to know, preacher, your out of context, fabricated, unlearned interpretation of scripture is not only hurting and confusing people, it's killing them. Even if it's in the word, which many things are, it's out of order if it contradicts the heart of Jesus. Okay. Now you think that y'all know this. You think that y'all would treat people right. You think y'all would be the first examples of love, but ain't. Y'all that know don't care. So you can ignore this and go to hell. I actually said enjoy hell, but same thing. But see, that part was me. God didn't tell me to say that. You can ignore this and enjoy hell. God wouldn't say that. That's all.
He would not.
That's all me.
I will agree with you on that.
I mean it though.
I mean, you're absolutely right. Listen, I told you I read half of Paul's letters yesterday in my time that I spent with the Lord. And, we've talked about this before. Some stuff I can rock with Paul on. Other stuff I'm like, Paul, you was smoking that good stuff. And I can't really rock with you on that. But listen, I have said many, 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 many times, there are just certain things that just aren't in the Bible. God won't put more on you than you can bear is not in the Bible. It's just not. That scripture that y'all think is talking about that is talking about temptation. He said you won't be tempted beyond what you can handle. That's not the same thing, okay? There's just certain things that just the Bible says, no, it doesn't. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that.
Well, the thing is, even if it does, what was the context?
Right.
Your out of order context is just detrimental to people. You're killing people because you're making shit up.
And there's full religions out here that are following this ill-advised, ill-interpreted doctrine. Women shouldn't have any roles in the church. What?
Well, the thing is,
Jesus had a full-ass woman walking next to him.
This is the thing, though. This is the thing. Paul said that he doesn't have women teaching in his church. This is early Paul. Paul also said that we are all equal. And we should be treated as such. So like I said earlier.
And Paul was not Jesus.
He's not. And so let me do this. Let me explain this, okay? Damn, I'm about to go into this whole sermon again. This is good. We're going to cut this out too. And when you need a guest preacher on your YouTube channel, I'm gonna put it on mine. But let me break this down. Like I was telling my friend today, right? And this is a sermon I could actually preach. I can give you scripture reference without my Bible. Like when you think about how amazing God is, right? How amazing God is as the creator of the heavens and the earth. But I want y'all to go with me, and I'm transitioning. I'm giving y'all some of my book, and I can't believe I'm doing this. But in real life,
doing it either.
David is my favorite person in the Bible, okay? But Tiff, I want you to understand that David was a hood nigga.
David was a rat sometimes.
No, David was a hood nigga.
He
Actually,
was a full rat.
Now think about this, okay? He was actually a country ass nigga. He was a country ass nigga, and he lived in the country. So if you want it to be in America, parallel David being somewhere from a low town, low key, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, Georgia, Dade County. But he was country.
Dade County.
He lived on the farm. So imagine this: David had older brothers. So there's a prophecy in the land, right? David is gonna be king. David. So they go to Jesse's house. Now your parents always be in the middle trying to control what God is doing, right? So they show up. Jesse, we're looking for one of your sons. He's gonna be the king. Jesse's like, oh well, this little runt that I got out in the fields, he ain't gonna be nothing. Like, really think about it like this. So Jesse goes and gets all of his grown sons who he's tailored and matured. David is the youngest. He needs to him to stay there and be part of this farm. Listen, the youngest has the most energy, the most adrenaline, all of that. You ain't getting David, and David ain't the one anyway. That little boy ain't worth shit. That's Jesse. That's Jesse. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, this is real. This is real.
It is.
So Jesse's like, oh, and they're like, nah, none of these is him. Do you have another son? He's like, I got David back there. But no, David ain't nobody's king. Okay, well, let's fast forward the fact that David is king. David will be king. He wasn't king at 12, but he stepped up in that bit at 22. You know what I'm saying? Here comes David. The realest hood nigga ever. David is a G. But he's the only person in the Bible that literally, this written by Paul, that David was a man after God's own heart. You don't see that in the text anywhere else. You don't see it for Moses. You don't see it for Aaron. You don't see it for Ruth or Sarah. You don't see it for nobody. I can go through all these names. Malachi. I can keep on going. John, Matthew, Mark, Luke, hell, Timothy. None of these people.
Not Timothy.
None of these people. So here come David, 22, horny as hell, probably. I'm just thinking about a 22-year-old man. Hell, they say we be horny till 72. So, shit. So David gets in. Now, the general of his army, if David is king, I can guarantee you that him and his general are like this. So the general was probably most likely like his good friend, like his homie. The general is out protecting the kingdom. David is on his rooftop in New York City because he moved from Georgia. He left Mississippi. He's up in New York on a rooftop in his palace, and on the roof next to him, his homeboy's wife is bathing in the sun on the rooftop in her rooftop shower. David has his way with her a couple of times. She gets pregnant, and he kills her husband, who's also his friend, who's also his general. But let's also go further. Like I said, David was horny because the Bible.
You get the fact that David tried to get the man to go sleep with his wife first before he sent him to the front of the line to have him killed.
I'm giving you all of the inclusive David being a hot mess.
Right.
The Bible also says that David loved Jonathan in a way greater than he ever loved any woman. Now, I don't know how you interpret that. I know we skip over that in the church. We don't want to be talking about that, David's love for Jonathan. But if any man, and I'm telling you, I'm talking to you women that you know damn well, if your husband came home and said he loved Marcus more in a way that he's never loved any woman.
Nope.
You see I'm scratching and everything.
Nope.
But I must go back to David was a man after God's own heart. See, I say black people are so twisted. I say that and they be like, well, you know what? We probably need to stop listening to Paul. He didn't know what he was talking about. David couldn't have been. But the thing is, David was also undignified in everything that he did. As horny as he was, as much of a hoe as he was, as much of a hot mess, his heart was literally sold out to the Lord. He loved the Lord with all his heart, to the point that he was dancing naked in the streets, in his own streets. This naked was not figurative. This nigga was really out there with his dick swinging. Probably with some type of loincloth that fell off.
Oh my God.
So this was David. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's insane to me. Amazing at the same time. I just think it's amazing. But I feel like you Christians that want to go out there and minister to people, you need to tell them the real stories.
Yeah.
God loved David despite.
This is funny because I literally on Friday sat with a girlfriend of mine and we did like the realest version of some of these stories, including this one about David, which is why it's so fresh in my mind. But we were also talking about Naomi telling Ruth to go lay at Boaz's feet. Excuse me? What you mean lay at his feet?
I just want to feel like all these people was just holy and everything, and these people was
they weren't
holy.
They weren't.
They were, but the definition of holy is not white sheep.
Listen, okay? It just Jesus looked at the crowd that was about to stone that woman and basically was like, who of y'all ain't got skeletons? That person can go ahead and throw the first stone. But let me tell you now, you throw a stone and you got a skeleton, I'm gonna name you skeleton, okay? Murderer, thief, liar, robber. Don't come for this woman and throw no stones, because then we could all throw stones at each one of y'all. Like, these people in the Bible were not without spot or wrinkle, to sound churchy. But the church acts like, you know, Moses just went ahead and urgently did what the Lord called him. Let me tell you something. If a bush tells me to build a boat, I'm reevaluating everything in my life, okay? What did I eat today? Did I have some bad shrimp? Like, did I smoke some bad stuff and I don't know it? Like, what's happening?
To go back to what I was saying, see, I got like 5 sermons out of this. Stop taking things out of context. Stop telling these people shrimp was a trigger word for me. To stop eating shrimps. Why the hell are you even preaching out of Leviticus? Well, you know, my brother, that's the word that Leviticus is a story. It's telling you about a time. You need context, okay? They said, do not eat the shrimp because they are unclean, because there was a famine in the land. So there was a famine in the land, just like the flu was out here killing people. That was happening. So there was a famine in the water. There was a famine in the food. The shrimp were unclean. That made it into the text. That has nothing to do with your life today. I ask you again, why in the hell are you reading Leviticus and preaching from it? My brethren.
The same reason that there's a whole ass religion that only focuses on the book of Revelation.
What about the nap? Okay, all right. We're out of time. Thank you for joining us tonight. Tiff, how do they keep in touch with you?
I'm sorry, before we go, shout out to the man that died here, turning This Is Us into real life. He died saving his 5 children from a house fire, but wasn't able to save himself. So
bless the Lord for him.
Brandon Gamble, rest in peace. But he wrote to his family.
My prayers go out to him.
You can keep in touch with me on Tiff Linnell everywhere, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram. I have been slacking on Snapchat, but I'm going to try to get back on there. So, Alex the Great, how do they get in touch with you?
My name is Alex Haynes. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Alex Unmuted and AlexUnmuted.com. Remember, today is greater. Believe it, speak it, and live it. You have to make the choice to be great. Your situation is not your destination. Instead, make it your motivation. We're back here on a Wednesday night, 10 p.m., live right here on the ShakeUP After Dark. Who knows? We may also be live on the hashtag in your BossFM app or whatever. Namaste.